What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Season 8 of NHL 21 Chicago Blackhawks Franchise Mode Series. If you guys missed the last episode, I'll give you a quick little recap here. Unfortunately, we did not win the Stanley Cup. The Carolina Hurricanes actually won back-to-back Cups. You can see we won the 3 before that, though. So only 2 teams have won Stanley Cups in the last 5 years. They actually beat us as well in the Stanley Cup Final. You can see there, we did win the Clarence Campbell. So we've been to 4 Stanley Cup Finals in the past 5 years. Pretty good, I'd say, but definitely still would like to win another, Stanley Cup here before this franchise series ends. We got 3 seasons left to do it. And now, before I actually show you guys the team, first I wanted to make a big trade. If you guys missed last episode, Morgan Rielly's dropped down a lot in rating, but his value is still high. You can see here he's got a really high trade value, considering the fact he's only 86 overall at 33 years old and making $11 million for 2 more years. Like, not the greatest contract. So I was looking around, and I think the guy I want to target and try and trade him for is Owen Power on the Vancouver Canucks. You can see there he's 5 overall higher at 91 overall, only 24 years old, so still can actually grow and get even better. Pretty much identical salary there at 11.3, plus he's locked up, never have to give him a raise or anything. Look to be from scouting that he'll actually fit on all our defensive pairs. Obviously going to put him on the top pair though with Boquist. So 1 for 1, I don't think this happens, but they like Rielly, so we add something. Honestly, probably not even that much. They'll probably go for it. We've been trading a lot of later picks, but try doing like a 20-30 second with Rielly for Power. They probably won't say yes, but you never know. Yeah, trade rejected. Maybe we can... Honestly, we're getting a better player, a younger player. I'd be willing to give a first round pick. 2030 first rounder. This is a giant trade for us, but obviously we're trying to win 1 more cup here. Those first round picks probably don't turn into a player in time. 2 firsts, a second, Lucas Reichel, Morgan Rielly for Owen Power. Here we go. Trade still rejected. I think that's our best offer. So I could make a trade happen for Owen Power, and looking around the league, I feel like I should just hold on to Rielly for now, and maybe, someone will become available at the deadline. So this season, guys, you can see we have some crazy chemistry. Wright, Doc, and Kane on the first line getting a +3. Meyer, Lambert, Hall, we've had them for like the past, 4 or 5 seasons, getting that +5. Leschyshyn, Lundstrom, and Comtois get a +3. Then you have Duclair, Reese, and Foote getting a +1. Defensively, Rielly and Boquist on that top pair get a +3. Then we have Drysdale, Clark, Kovalev, and Pitton. So the bottom pair is not great, but both 79s in their 20s, they can grow. The top 4 I think is really, really solid. HELLEBUYCK's now an 85, so that could be bad. We'll see how he does. The first power play unit though is a +5, so power play should be amazing. Even the second unit, they're only getting a +1, still has a bunch of good players. 4-man power plays both look good. PK looks solid. The 3-man both get a -1, but it won't be on the ice that much, and it's kind of the best I could get. AHL here, so we got a couple 80s and a Fantasy and Reichel. Could use them in a trade, call them up, we trade somebody else. Defensively there, it's all zeros. Goaltending, Gran's a starter. The backup, Rusinski there's got the immediately potential. So overall, I feel like, there's really no reason this team cannot compete for another Stanley Cup. We made it to the final last year. I think, we're just as good a team, if not better, honestly. So I'll start simming here. Once we get to December, we'll probably have a better idea how the team's doing. If we're not looking too good, maybe we trade Rielly, maybe we trade HELLEBUYCK, make a change. But if we're still playing well, I think really no reason to change things up. Alright guys, so we're now at the end of December here with an insane record. We're 34-7. We have 68 points. Pretty ridiculous. Definitely not making any changes right now. Maybe we can add somebody at the deadline. Shane Wright's killing it there, 56 points in 41 games. Definitely first in the NHL. But surprisingly, the Predators, they're only 5 points behind us. So we're the top 2 teams, both in the same division. We'll see if we can keep this going here, but team's looking really good. This is insane, guys. We're at the deadline now with a 53-9-1 record. This is probably one of the best records I've ever had at the deadline for like a regular franchise team. Already have a playoff spot clinched. Already have 107 points. We are hitting 60 wins. Knock on wood, but we have, what, a month and a half of games. We just have to get 7 wins in that time. Like, this might be our best regular season ever. We had the same coach the entire time, so I think we could actually check that by looking at our coach's stats. Shane Wright there is having a great year, 89 points in 63 games. The Predators at 88 are the 3rd best team. The Blue Jackets actually have 89, but literally no one's close to us, which makes sense. So we'll see what's available to trade deadline. Honestly though, I'm not even sure if I should make a trade, because when something's not broke, don't fix it. Not only is this not broke, but like, this is pretty close to perfect. We're actually 10-0, I see, in our last 10 games. Like, absolutely ridiculous. So at the trade deadline now, guys, Tyson Jost, top player available, 89 overall, but you can see he's got a ton of value. It's gonna be tough to trade for him. And again, I don't know if we should make a trade. As I mentioned that, Tyson Jost for 2 first-round picks and Ballistic, I mean, the dude's 8-9 overall. He's a top player available in free agency. He only makes our team better. We do have a kind of weak fourth line center. So Lundstrom would be fourth line center at that point. Or actually, it could even be the other guy. Lundstrom could go on the wing. Tyson Jost would just be the best third line center in the NHL. Ballistic's not bad, 23-77. 2 first-round picks, but we get Tyson Jost. I'm probably going to say no to that. Can I... Wait, do we lose that trade? What? What was that? That's... Alright, so I guess good to know we can make that trade with Colorado to get Tyson Jost. Is he still on the team? He is. I've never seen that before. When you get a trade offer, accept it, and then another one comes in and cancels it. 4.8 million. He's an absolute beast. Really good defensive stats there. 93 D awareness, 90 shot block, 92 stick check. Fits on the third line. We're already the #1 favorite to win the Stanley Cup. Why not add the #1 player on the trade block here? Ballistics, 77 overall at 23 is really not that great. 2 first-round picks. Again, if it wins us a 4th Stanley Cup in, what, 8 years, which works out to a cup every other year, I'm happy with it. So this is what they asked for us. I'm assuming it goes through. And there we go. I can't believe we just got even better for not really that much of a price. Now I wanted to show you guys the rest of the top 10 players here on the block. You got Cody Glass, who's also in the Avalanche. 8-9 overall, 2 years left there, but a bit more money. Maybe we should have made that trade. Just because, of course, you know, it's cost $2 million, but we have him for another year. Jacob Pelletier, similar thing, 8-9 overall, 1 year left. This guy's actually unsigned, 88 overall defenseman on the Senators. DeBrincat there, could have brought him back. Matt Duchene, $13.6 million he was making. Christian Fisher, Alex Newhook's usually a really good player in the sim, yeah, making $10 million. Tyler Benson, Matthew Tkachuk. I'm thinking though, worst case, can definitely flip Josh for like a 2nd round pick probably at the draft, but that's a pretty big trade for us. So I didn't make any other trades, guys, as the Josh one I was already not so sure about, but I feel like adding the top player on the trade block can't make a stacked team worse, or at least it shouldn't. So let's see here. LA got Ethan Bear. Edmonton got Tristan Jarry. Montreal gets Jake DeBrusk. Let's see. New York Rangers there get Mikhail Grigorenko. Philadelphia gets Joe Velino. Vegas, Devin Tays. Toivu Teravainen going to Colorado. Edmonton gets Evan Bouchard. So he's actually already left Carolina a little bit. There's our trade for Tyson Jost, of course. Christian Dvorak goes back to Arizona. Interesting. Michael McLeod goes to Anaheim. Really nothing else there. So there wasn't actually too many trades because that Josh trade was one of the first ones, and it like kind of showed up halfway through the list. So I'll try and work him into the lines now. Hopefully still have good chemistry. So here's an update look at the lines, guys. After trading for Tyson Jost, I got him playing 3rd line left wing there with Lundstrom and Duclair. Lundstrom has a bit better face-off rate, and that's why he's still in the middle. Now, we don't get as much chemistry boost, only a +1 opposed to +3, but Jost 7 overall higher than Lenishin, so with the boost, it's like a 90 versus an 85. Lundstrom does go down by 2, and then Duclair is actually on the 3rd line now opposed to Comtois, so overall the 3rd line still did improve, even with the lesser chemistry. The 4th line is actually a little bit better too, with Lenishin dropping down there. So looks really good. Special teams wise, I think I have Jost on the PK. Yeah, he's actually on the 1st PK unit. He actually might be 2 as well on the 2nd power play. So we'll see how he does. If we start losing or something, I'll be so mad because it's like, come on, we didn't make our team any worse. That'd just be so typical EA. But we'll keep simming here. Maybe for the first time, the Chicago Blackhawks team can get 60 wins. That'd be pretty awesome. Alright guys, we're down to the end of the season here, and we did it. We hit 60 wins, 65 actually, finishing with a 65-15-2 record, 132 points, the best record I think I've ever had in a regular franchise mode. Absolutely ridiculous. And not only that, guys, but I remember seeing how we were 10-0 or whatever in our last 10 games at the deadline, so I went back, and I think our last loss here, Columbus Blue Jackets 6-4. After that, you can see we won 3 games that week, 3 more this week to the Flames, that's 6. 9 to the Leafs, you then have 13 to the Sabres, you then have 16 to the Canucks, 17 Vegas Golden Knights, 18 LA Kings, and 19 Boston Bruins before we lose an OT to the Dallas Stars. We actually set the win streak record in the NHL. Currently, it's held by the Pittsburgh Penguins as they won 17 straight games in the 92-93 season, and we just broke that record 35 years later with 19 straight wins, so pretty cool, I think. Now, having said that, our record after the deadline was actually so much worse than the rest of the season. Like, we had 8 regulation losses, I believe, at the deadline, finished with 15, so almost doubled the amount of losses we had in, like, a quarter, maybe a third of the time, which isn't good, but I'm not going to complain. We had 132 points or whatever. Like, yeah, no room to complain. Shane Wright, I think, hit 100 points for the first time in his career, 108 to be exact. And I mean, yeah, we absolutely crushed it in every single, facet that you can crush it. So 108 points. I could honestly see him getting up to a 95 next season. Really no reason he can't. He's 24 years old. Look, Patty Kane, 105 at 39. Oh, he is going to be... I think he's going to have, like, every single Chicago Blackhawk record, probably, by the time we're all said and done. 39 years old, putting up 105 points. He's actually dropped in rating to 84, which is a little bit ridiculous. Basically, all because of his physical. He's actually still got decent skating. Defensive stats, shot block, stick checker down, but defensive awareness is actually still pretty good. 105 points at 39 years old is just insane. Basically, like, Miro Lemieux-esque, I'd say. Lambert, 99, 1 point shy. Even Hall there, 96. Meyer had a huge year, 87. Doc, almost a point per game. Boquist, 64. Same with Drysdale. I mean, love to see that. Let's see. Hellebuck here, .904 and a 2.71. Not too bad. Stuart Skinner, actually unreal. He only lost 1 game regulation, 1 OT there. .906 to 2.69. He could go up in rating. Same with Hellebuck, who actually went down to an 84, but I mean, who cares? This team's just so good. AHL-wise, Lucas Reichel had a point per game. AHL overall, I finished at 55 points. We'll see if either of those guys can maybe make the jump to NHL next season. Taking a look now at the entire NHL. Shane Wright maybe wins the Art Ross, and he does win it. Let's go. Patty Kane, they're actually second. Tavares third, still in the Leafs. McDavid, Connor Bedard, Zegras, Beniers there, Lambert, and Michkov. And I think goals looks to be Michkov. Or no, Bedard 68, Zegras 65 with Michkov, Stevens. Oh wow, so yeah, Patty Kane 56, wasn't even close. Connor Bedard 68 goals. Look at that shot, 97 slap shot accuracy, wrist shot accuracy. I might have to tone his shot down a little bit as he's a creative player. And I think actually Shane Wright's I can turn up a bit as he only has like a 90 or whatever. Michkov's slap shot there is also pretty insane, but he's supposed to be like the next Ovechkin, so honestly I don't even really mind that. Pretty ridiculous totals. Next year I actually want to take a look at the entire league. Just kind of see how crazy our stats are. So 132 points, 16 more points than the Blue Jackets at 116. They probably thought they had a great year, but not enough. Win percentage there, 80.5. Goals for, 360. The next best, 317. Goals against, I feel like we had... Winnipeg Jets had less goals against than us. That's pretty crazy. As good as we were, we're not getting the William Jennings trophy. Power play goals. Pittsburgh. New York 76. Wow, even with the +5, we could have done a lot better on the power play. So, as good as we were, there's definitely still a room for improvement. Totally forgot to check who finished last in the NHL, so let's do that quickly. You can see actually a ton of teams this year, 100+ points, 9 there. That's 9 teams 100+ is actually quite a bit. Tampa gets robbed there, finishes 15th. They do not make it in. And last in the NHL is the Arizona Coyotes of 44 points. That's one of the worst I've seen. So the same year you have us with one of the best records ever. You have the Coyotes with one of the worst. Now as I was mentioning, guys, I wanted to kind of show you my coach, because if you look at my coach, you can actually see kind of how we've done so far in the 8 years. I think it's really cool. So if I click on him right now, you'll see this is kind of our new best season ever. Again, we had yet to hit 60 wins yet. This year we get 65. Before that, I think our best year was the 59 wins there in year 3. So really cool. There's no like kind of track or whatever still at the end of the franchise, but if you do keep the same coach, you can kind of go back and see your success. You could also even click on playoff here. You can see, of course, it takes 16 wins to win a Stanley Cup. So, we got 3 Stanley Cups there. It's kind of one workaround to not having, like, a cool stat screen at the end that shows you what you did, but you have to stick with the same coach the entire time. If you don't, not going to work. So make sure, your coach you stick with from the beginning is a good coach. And as I was mentioning, too, with Patty Kane, having the 105-point year, breaking all these records. I mean, look at this. He's got the point record. Seasons, he's only 1 behind Mikita now. He has the assist record. He has the games played record. Penalty minutes, we're not going to beat Chelios' 1,500. It's a different era. Goalies, we don't have it. We haven't had a goalie long enough, and goals he already has. So 1 more year, and Patrick Kane has every single skating record for the Chicago Blackhawks, which is, I think, ridiculous. Definitely going to do everything I can to keep him and hopefully make that happen. Obviously, if he retires, it's out of our hands. Even if he asks for a stupid price, I'm going to bring him back because I want to have him, smash every Chicago Blackhawk record. Now, first round of the playoffs, we actually are up against the Colorado Avalanche. Of course we are. The team that we traded with to get Tyson Jost. If we lose the Avalanche after taking one of their best players and putting up a record-breaking season, I don't even know. They're actually still really good without Jost, though. Gensel, Zegras, Rantanen top line. Newhook, Glass, Teravainen. I was looking at Glass. Their bottom 6, though, definitely a big drop-off. Defensively, they have Byram. Not much else. A 75 on the bottom pair. Murray's 82 starting goalie. Markstrom 81 backing him up. So, yeah. They have a sick top 6. But after that, they basically just have Byram and nothing else. So we'll see what happens here. I'm honestly so scared. I do not want to have this season end in a first round exit. And first game's a win, OT, 6-5. Second game's a 2-1 loss regulation. So Colorado's playing us close. They're playing us tough. Heading to Denver now. 4-3 OT loss. Are you kidding me? So every game so far, 5-4 OT loss. We're down 3-1 here to the Avalanche, who we gave 2 first-round picks to get Tyson Jost. 4 games in a row decided by 1 goal. We have yet to come out on top. Oh my god. 8-1. Let's go, boys. Come on. Keep it going. We have to win the next 2. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. I'm actually so rattled. 5-2 lost to the Avalanche. Not only did we lose in the first round after our best season ever, but we lose the team that we traded with to get Tyson Jost. And now I'm thinking, should we not have traded for Jost? I mean, obviously not, because we gave up 2 first-round picks and didn't make it out of the first round. But, like, that's just heartbreaking. Now, our AHL team's actually on to the second round, so maybe they can win the Calder Cup and make up for that first-round exit our NHL team had. Texas Stars, though, not looking good. Yeah, we lose in 6 out of the Texas Stars. I don't think I'll ever get over that. We add Tyson Jost, one of their best players, and we're the best team in the league by far, and they beat us in 6? And, like, I just don't know. Colorado, and then they fire their head coach. Come on, that's just adding insult to injury. Stanley Cup champs there, Vancouver Canucks. So, we almost got own power from them, but that's fair enough. They go on to win the cup. I still can't believe this. Buffalo gets first overall pick, jumping up from 12-1. That's kind of nuts. Take a look at all the awards and stuff now. I don't know. Patty Kane, 7 points in 6 games. I mean, it's not too bad. We only played 1 round. Shane Wright is a 95. Now, I was going to say, if he doesn't go up in rating after that season. Hall, Wright. I mean, it looks like everyone did their part. It's all 1-goal games. HELLEBUYCK, 0.875, 3.9. He definitely could have been better. His contract's up, so I'll probably get a new goalie, to be honest, for the price that we were paying him. So Canucks beat Vegas in 5, Flames in 6, swept the Jets, then Devils in 6. The Avs actually lost to the Jets in 7 after being surprised you fire your head coach after that. The Devils beat the Hurricanes in 5, Capitals in 7, and the Red Wings in 5 before losing the Canucks. So take a look here at the awards now. Stanley Cup, Vancouver Canucks. We got the President's Trophy, first time since 2023-2024. We did not win the Clarence Campbell, though. Individual awards, Shane Wright, of course, won the Art Ross. Brad Lambert, though, got the Hart Trophy. Very interesting, because he had a lot less points than Lambert. Odell there, James Norris Trophy, Dallas Stars defenseman. They still have Heiskanen, too, so their blue line's looking insane. Lady Bang goes to Patty Kane, so we got 3 different players getting 3 different awards. That's really cool. And Umberger there gets the Calder for Columbus. That's really cool, because I mentioned, like, a new Umberger being on Columbus. Besser, Conn Smythe for Vancouver. Galvin here wins the Vezina playing for Winnipeg. He also got the William Jennings. Pellets there, sportsmanship for Arizona. Dallas Stars coach gets the Jack Adams. Aho gets the Selke. Lambert also got Ted Lindsay, opposed to Wright, for the best player selected by the NHLPA. Very, very interesting. And then Connor Bedard and Maurice Richard. Like, Lambert had, 99 points? Shane Wright had 108, I want to say. Quick look, yeah, 108. So how did, I don't know how Lambert gets that award. AHL, will just go through quickly here. Do not think we won any team awards. Individual awards. Didn't get the most points. This Chen guy, MVP, most points. Phil Kessel still grinding, most goals. Outstanding rookie. Peak there, best D-man. Rodriguez, MVP of the playoffs. He's still playing. This Bertuzzi guy, sportsmanship. Bjork, community involvement. And then Sachenko, lowest goals against. So we'll have to have a comeback tour season 9, because I still, like I said, guys, I'm not hiding it. I am just rattled beyond belief. I forgot to view draft class there, but we'll do it once we get to the draft. Also take a look at retired players. Hopefully Patrick Kane is not retired. He has not. Kopitar is actually the big name. 1,500 points, 1,700 games. Retires as a New York Islander. 75 overall. Matt Duchene calls it quits. I think he was still pretty high. Yeah, 88 overall, 37 years old. He could have kept playing. Low mature here was a 75, so he dropped quite a bit. Phil Kessel retires. I figured that. He's in the AHL. Drew Doughty hangs it up. 1,004 points. Kuznetsov retires 1,000 right on. He was still on Washington. Still a good player, 87 overall. Mark Stone, still 85. Jamie Benn played his whole career for Dallas. Braden Shen there. Josh Bailey, Cal Palmieri. Roman Yossi calls it a career. 77 overall now at 38 years old. Stefan, Ekman Larson, JT Miller, some big names. Vander Kane, if you guys missed it, I did a fight stand with him and Logan Paul. Check that out. Riley Smith, Deneau, Spurgeon, Backlund. I mean, yeah, you have a ton of just everyday, like, solid NHLers retiring at this point. Now, goaltending-wise, let's see here. Varlamov, Leonard, Picard, Brossois. Only, like, a couple goalies really retire. I mean, it makes sense. A lot less goalies than skaters, but still, a lot of them hanging around. We're going to have to, or we can still review the draft class. Nice. Hopefully, there's a couple of gems. And again, it looks like a really standard draft. 5 medium elites at the top of it. Nothing, you know, franchise, even a high elite. Ooh, guaranteed medium elite center, 103. That's what I wanted. You've also got a gem there at 94, and then a gem who's going to be medium top 9 at 42. So he's probably like, I don't know, high top 9, medium top 6 maybe, going in the second. I don't care about him. We'll get this Quincy guy who's a gem along with Kopriva there. So 96, 101, make sure we don't miss out on those two guys. Now I'm looking at our players here, guys, trying to figure out who I can trade at the draft to make sure we get those picks. To get those players. As I mentioned, Wright's now 95. Lambert's now 93 with franchise potential. Doc's at 90. He's going to need a new contract. Definitely going to raise from 4.7. Same with Drysdale there. Hall actually might come down in price from 10.6. Clark's going to need a raise. Jost, I don't know if we can keep him. Patty Kane, I'm going to do everything I can. Lundstrom, I don't know. Duclair, like, look at all these guys. All 1 year left. All going to want a new contract. Last year was literally our year to win. The fact that we were so successful and so good in the regular season just to be a first round exit, I just can't explain how disappointing that is. So I'm going to try and trade some of these guys to recoup some picks. Jost, I really want to keep Jost simply because of how much we gave up to get him, but look at that. He's already down to an 87. We also have Hellebuck too, who can maybe trade because 1 year left, and like I said, I don't really see myself keeping him. Now I didn't feel like we'd have enough to trade in the first round, so I just simmed through it. The first two picks, both 82 medium elites and 81 medium elite. Same with the fourth. 82 medium elite at 5, Nightingale. So basically the top 5 was all the same. Didn't matter if you're picking first overall or 5th, which good for the teams that, you know, had the 4th and 5th pick. 62 overall defense in there, medium elite potential. Okay, so not too bad of a first round. I'm going to see if we can actually get into the second round here. To try and draft this Claremont guy who's a gem and supposed to go in the second round. Also, too, I noticed there's a couple of guys with franchise potential, very low accuracy. One's going to go in the third, Tom's. Another McDonald will be, like, we can get with our 7th round pick, literally. You never know. Like, these could be great players. Definitely worth, you know, taking a risk on. So, I think we can definitely get a third for one of the guys on expiring deals for Tom's. Just getting the second might be a bit tough. So here, guys, I'm going to trade the St. Louis Blues for their second round pick, offering them Reese and Reichel. Reese got replaced, I think, once we traded for Jost. Reichel was in the AHL. Had a good year, but I don't know. I just don't really see a spot for him. He's only got 79 defensive awareness. Playing our Palm 6 is not really going to work. Third round pick, so basically giving up all that with Tamara here, who's 20 years old, 60 overall, low elite to move up around. We'll see what St. Louis says. Trade accepted. Okay, so that's good. Still have some other guys I'm thinking will trade away simply because, like, a lot of the time, as you guys probably saw last episode, you can get low 80s out of free agency if you just wait for really cheap. So even, like, worst case, you know, if they would have been cheap anyways, might as well still get something for them now. So Claremont here, this is who we're taking next. Brandon Claremont, please be good. Medium top 6, 64 overall. That's honestly like end of the first talent, so I like that pick. Next, you guys trying to trade the rights to Isaac Lundstrom to the San Jose Sharks for a 4th rounder. That'll, of course, be used to draft one of our gems. Value's a bit on their side, but I think it might still work. Trade rejected. Okay, I thought, you know, that might go through. What about our 4th with Lundstrom? So, rights to him to move up a bit. There you go. Okay, so that's a nice trade. And now, guys, I'm trying to trade the Flyers for their 4th round pick. Harper, Nichushkin, and Erickson. Erickson's already like 28. The other two are okay prospects. Low top 4, 7th D. See what they say. Trade accepted. Okay, so I think we kind of fleeced them there. So now we'll actually sim to our next pick. Pick number 63. I have to make sure I do all this correctly to make sure we get all the players that we want. So 63, we're not actually going to be taking one of those 2 gems. Those are our 2 4th round picks. The 63rd pick, we're taking this guy, Tom. He's got a small chance to be a franchise. We're going to go for it. Medium elite, left winger, 56 overall, first pick, 3rd round. That's insane. I love that pick for us. Okay, so we now actually have back-to-back picks in the 4th round. I'm hoping we can get both gems here. I see Quincy's up first. We have back-to-back picks, so it doesn't really matter. And they are both there. Okay, so I'll just take the medium elite guy first. Guaranteed medium elite. So we actually are having a really good draft. Center, only 52 overall, but still. I'm liking this draft. It's making up a bit for that embarrassing first round exit. Now we have QUINCEY here. I love the name. And he's a low top 4, 63 overall. So a bit higher rated, not as good potential. We're now going to be sitting to the 182nd pick. We're going to take the other guy who's got a very small chance to be franchised. And if he's anything like the other one, I'm super stoked to see, you know, just how good he can be. This goalie here, probably take him with our last pick, 50-50 medium elite. But Sean McDonald, please be good. Low elite, okay, 52 overall. Not as good as the other one, but still, definitely I'll take it. Now pick 213. Hopefully that Russian goalie is still available. He's actually the next pick. Wow, that worked out perfectly. Kaminsky. And medium starter, not too bad at all for a late pick in the 7th round. So I think we had a great draft there. I always had to make some trades to move around. We'll see just, you know, how many guys and who we can bring back. But I think not all hope is lost. Although definitely, you know, still tough bounce this season for sure. So we're now at the re-sign phase, guys, with almost 50 million in cap space, 46.7. Thing is, we have a ton of players to re-sign. I don't even think we can actually re-sign everybody with all that money, which is kind of funny. So Kirby Ducks, our first line center, we need to keep him. 9.5 million for 7 years. We only need him for 2. It gets a lot more expensive. He's 27. We could do 8 there and make him a bit cheaper. That'd be till he's 35. I think that's realistic. We're about an 8.7 for 8 years. Sidney Crosby-esque contract. Probably actually could even get him a little bit cheaper, to be honest. Let's do like an 8.5 for 8 years. I think Doc would say yes to that. Now, Taylor Hall, 36 years old, kind of like Kane's, a bit risky. 8.8, so he's a bit cheaper. He did have, like, what, almost 100 points last year. Where's Patrick Kane? 39 years old, 86 overall. Palm 6'4" potential, but I said I'd pay him whatever he wants. He actually went up in ratings, so that's weird. Like, he dropped during the season, even though he had 100 points. Now he's back to an 86. It's weird how the ratings fluctuate, I think. 1 year, so he's 40. Maybe he does like a 1 year, $7 million deal. Again, I want to make sure he gets every skater record for Chicago. He's only got 1 more to get. Duclair's want to come back. That's fine. Shin doesn't want to come back. That's fine. Same with Comtois. Again, I think I can find guys like that in free agency. Hopefully ones that really fit our team in terms of the chemistry. Foot doesn't want to come back. That's fine. Fanasayev wants to be back. 1.4. He was in the AHL. He's never really broke out of the AHL for us. I'm fine just getting a whole new bunch of cheap players, honestly. Even a guy like Mercer. He's 26. He's got 1 year left to grow. 1.2, though, is just too expensive. So let him go. Hopefully we have some 79s kind of come through here. Tyson Jost, what does he want? 6.5 to be a really good third-line center. 2 years is actually slightly cheaper. Let's do 2 years. That's all we need him for. Let's try 5.8. He actually might go for that. You see Morgan Riley here has got 1 year left at $11 million, but he's now up to an 87 overall. So honestly, at this point, I just kind of might hold on to Riley. Drysdale's going to need a big boy contract. 12.2. The defensemen get paid in this. I saw McCarr was making 17. Oh my. Yeah, that's 12 million out of nowhere too, because he's on an entry-level deal before that. Oh man, that's going to be tough. So we'll see. Taylor Hall's a part of the +5 chemistry line, which I really don't want to break up. Like, it's hard to get +5 chemistry if you have a line that's all like high 80s already. Now they're playing like mid 90s. Okay, we'll offer Hall 8 million. I mean, one option is because HELLEBUYCK we're gonna let go. He's only 1 overall above Skinner, so that saves 8 million. If Skinner's still only asking for 850k, 1.6. He's finally asked for a raise. He could be our starter. Grand backup. Ruchinsky there, AHL starter. Probably gonna have to sign an AHL backup. That's like one kind of avenue to go. Let's advance the day, see if anyone accepts the offer we gave them. So there we go. Taylor Hall's returning for 1 year, 8 million. Kane wants more money. Doc returned, which is nice. Same with Joss. I thought we got a pretty good contract there with Joss. So 26 million. Let's say we even get Drysdale for 10. Leaves us 16 to get Clark, Kane, and that's it. So we can sign all the superstars, and then we're literally just gonna have to hopefully get some growth from the AHL players and get some really good value contracts in free agency. And then for goalies, we'd have to rock Stuart Skinner as a starter, but sometimes, like, in this game, like, he had decent numbers last year. A lot of times the goalie doesn't really matter that much. It's risky, but I don't know. Like, we had HELLEBUYCK in net. He barely had better numbers than Skinner. So, yeah, let's try and get these guys locked up. Drysdale, such a ridiculous ask. I mean, if you do the 80% thing, though, we could probably get him 10 million bucks, because quick math, 10 is about 80% of 12, I feel. Let's try 10 million there for 6 years. Grant Clark's up to an 87 now. Oh my, he wants a lot of money too. It doesn't get much cheaper at all. 1 year, a bit cheaper. Let's do 4 years. Say 6.5. I think that can maybe get it done. And then Patty Kane, I feel we're probably close on. Let's do 1 year, say 7.5. So we'll see what those guys say to that. Patty Kane's coming back. Same with Grant Clark. Drysdale wants more money. And we have 12.9, so we can get Drysdale signed. We're gonna try offering Drysdale 11.2 for 6 years, so giving him like an extra 300K. And he still says no. I mean, I don't know what team is gonna be able to offer sheet him. So I'm just gonna qualify him for now and make sure we have the money to keep him. And then we'll worry about all the AHL guys next year. Now looking at defense, assuming Drysdale signs his contract, we still got the top 4 locked up. Then we'll have the bottom pair be 2 of Conklin, Anderson, Pitton, maybe even Kovalev if he grows, Yermo as well. So I'll just qualify these 2. I feel like there won't be really, any teams lining at their door to sign them to a contract or anything. And then goaltending wise, Garan's like a decent AHL starter. The thing is, I'd probably rather Rusinski be the AHL starter at this point. I'm going to let him go, I think. It's not like really hard to re-sign him in free agency. And then Skinner. Let's see if Skinner takes 1.5 for 2 years. He's literally doubling his money, but he's been taking like a hometown discount for us for a while now. And this is actually the last day before free agency, so hopefully he does say yes. We got to continue. I don't know what unsigned players are talking about. And Skinner did come back. Okay, so cap space, I saw we had about 13 million. We do have to hire a new AHL assistant, AHL head coach, but that's okay. So Drysdale, I'm hoping basically we can get really, really cheap. Or not really cheap, but get cheaper because no one else can afford him in free agency. See what's out there. Svechnikov, 13.3, 89, Ratty, Bennett. I still can't believe how much he grew. Cousins, Drysdale's the 5th best player, best defenseman. So yeah, he might have some teams going after him. Lots of big name players there. Luke Hughes now wants 10 million. Rowensky. I mean, we could just get Rowensky instead of Drysdale. Now goaltending wise, let's see. Galvin. Is this the guy that just helped Winnipeg? And it is. Look at that. .913 save percentage. He's a really good goalie. 89 overall. He's an RFA. Okay, so they're just trying to work out a contract. Askarov's available. Spencer Knight as well. Vasilevsky still an 85 at 33. So I mean, yeah, really there, unless you're getting like an elite goalie for 8 million, I think Stuart Skinner's probably fine. In which case, we just have to go and get a cheap backup. Merzlikin, 83, 1 million. I think I'm fine with that tandem. So yeah, we'll offer him $1 million. We'll do a year, just in case, he gets bad or something. Also too, we should probably check two-way goalies, because we actually do need an AHL backup, and just hopefully there's somebody decent. 2058, Lennox, 2577 is not really the greatest. 2058 is a pretty bad AHL. I mean, he's backing up in AHL, so I guess it's probably fine. If he grows, obviously that's a good pickup. Now, two-way skaters, 1971 low elite. Thank you very much. We'll give him an offer. Same with Lundin there. Now, Nathan Gotcher here, 2479. Two-way contract. He could actually be an NHL player for us. So that's what I'm talking about. Plus, too, there's obviously potential to get those low 80s later on if we wait. 1953 low top 6. Never know, could turn into a player. Kevin Hayes is actually available. 81 overall on a two-way deal. I think he could be a fourth-line center for us, so I'll make him an offer. Overall, I'm actually kind of liking what I'm seeing. It's a bit of a risk, obviously, starting Skinner next year, but I think we'll be okay. Hopefully he'll be okay at least. And we just got a big trade offer from Boston. They want to give us McAvoy and Hronek for Patty Kane. Honestly, if it wasn't for like the sentimental reason to keep Kane, to have him like break all the Chicago franchise records, this makes sense, I think, a lot. You're trading a 40-year-old Kane for a couple solid young D-men, but again, we're going to say no just to keep Kane in Chicago. Otherwise, though, I think that's actually a really good offer from the Bruins. That Lundin guy signed, same with WILCOX. We're getting some good young players either playing the AHL or just be nice pieces for trade. Dougie Hamilton. Wow, 1 year left at 9.5. Rusinski there's immediately goalie. So if we get Hamilton, basically we'll just have to hope someone offer sheets Drysdale. We get a bunch of picks. He's only an 85 though. I'm not comfortable paying Dougie 9.5 to be an 85 overall. Merzlikin accepted, so that's awesome. I think we have a nice tandem. Hayes could be a fourth line center. That Gotcher guy could also end up being on that fourth line. I'm gonna keep looking for steals. Drysdale just got offered $14 million by St. Louis. Wow. We get 4 first-round picks for him. I think we do this because we can just... Drysdale's good, but he was playing second pair. We get Boquist on the top pair. 4 first-round picks. First in this game are worth so much. We go sign Rowensky or somebody. Because Clark's also a righty. Yeah, okay, so let's do it. $14 million. He's not worth $14 million, I don't think. So how much do we have? $12.2 million. Jackman. Oh, no. Hopefully, I see Landeskog's still there. Please be there, Rowensky. Luke Hughes is still there. So, I mean, I'm fine with that. Although he is an RFA, he is. I mean, we could probably just go trade first, though, to get him. Holy crap, guys. Look at this. I just went to make a trade for Luke Hughes. St. Louis Blues first-round picks have almost max trade value. They must have been crap last year. You trade me 4 of those. Oh my gosh. Even the one, like, 4 years from now is worth so much. I was thinking we could trade a couple of these and maybe a prospect for Luke Hughes. I think we could just trade 1. So, if they are that bad, we might as well hold on to those early ones. And, like, you know, because they're early. Actually... I don't know, though. If they actually do better, though, than we think. Let's trade a later one, I guess. That's insane. 2032. Basically might give us Luke Hughes on its own. We'll try this. Trade rejected. Okay, fair enough. That's ridiculous. I can't believe just how much value those have. Let's do 2032. Throw in a second-round pick for Luke Hughes. Trades accepted. We still have 3 more of these first-rounders. These seem OP. Like, look at the value. At first I was thinking, you know, taking the option on Drysdale might not have been good, but oh my gosh, we got literally, they have almost max value. We got literally quadruple value there for him. Now, how did St. Louis do? Oh yeah, the season hasn't started, so we won't know. They're a conservative seller. I forgot, we also get Lucas, yeah, look at that. He's got a little under the max. They have Nathan McKinnon on their team too, but we got 4 times value there for Drysdale. Even if they do well, the fact that we just flipped one of those picks with a second for Luke Hughes, who has pretty much the same value. We still have 3 more. Definitely, I think, going to flip another one of these. And check this out, guys. I'm giving Luke Hughes a contract now. He's actually asking for less money from us than he was in free agency. So at least, you know, he respects us trading for him, trying to make a deal happen. We'll offer 8. We might as well start a little bit low. And I think we'll probably end up getting him for like 8.5, which means we still have another $4 million. So could use that in free agency, or again, trade for somebody worth $4 million that's really good. It has a value of like one of those first-round picks. Hopefully Luke Hughes answers here. Vince Dunn, we could actually take him on. The way it would work out. We'd have basically him and Hughes would bring us to the max. And he's an 82 though, never mind. I think our defense should be fine with the high 70s on the bottom pair. Sick top pair. And a sick top 4. Now Hughes did reject, so I'll make him that 8.5 offer, should say yes. Okay guys, this is insane. I figured I'd check free agency before I advance the day. Sort by overall, that way you can kind of see if someone's a really good deal. Like, Bradley there, 87. But you get LeBanc, who's an 86 for half the price. Lundstrom, I thought was a pretty good price, 4.7 for 85. Kept going down. Logan Brown, 84 overall once, 975k. Why? I have no idea. That's insane though. So I'm gonna outbid everybody. 1.25 for 84. He's gonna be the best 4th-line center ever. He might even be our 3rd-line center if Josh goes on the wing. I don't know how he's available at that price, if that just happened. I'm so glad I checked though. Grigorenko as well, 84 there for 2.3 million. I mean, there's so many decent players, though. I think this is why you wait. Logan Brown, though, like, you can't pass that up. I've never seen that big of a steal. Windsor boy must want to sign with the Windsor GM. I don't know. So, Logan Brown accepts. I'm glad we got him there. Even for the 1.2, I want to make sure we got him. And Luke Hughes, I think, should accept. We offered him, like, 300k less than he was asking for. And there we go. So, pretty awesome, I think. Luke Hughes actually had 15 points last year in the playoffs. We still have $4 million too. We could actually sign like a $5 million player, I think, with the way it works. So, I don't know. I think our top 4D is fine. We have 283 goalies, so I think with the way the sim works, goalies a lot of times don't matter. Wow. So I think I'm honestly going to be patient, I think. Maybe get 2 really good $2 million players. Like, the way it's looking, I think we could get potentially 284s for $2 million each. Now, as I say that, I see we could already sign Grigorenko for $2 million. So let's do that. 1 year, $2 million, see what he says. And there we go, Grigorenko accepted his offer. So I'll sim like another week, I think, till beginning of August. A lot of the guys who made qualifying offers on said yes, because I figured like there weren't good enough players, I don't think, for anyone to make an offer sheet. Next year, guys, trying to make a big trade with the Boston Bruins for Charlie McAvoy. 1 year left at $6 million, had them retain 50%, 86 overall. Which is going to help us shore up our defense. Pin there, kind of there. Pin we won't need once we get him, plus a bit of money going the other way. Second rounder in 2030, first rounder in 2031 are picks actually, because the St. Louis picks would honestly be a bit of like an overpay for McAvoy. So let's see what Boston says to this. Value's pretty equal. And trades rejected, not going to retain the salary. Okay, so interesting. Basically, if I couldn't get him, I'll show you guys the other players I was going to get. We're going to be all offense, because look at this. Vegas has Anderson and Kasha, 87-85, making 2 and 2.6, which is so cheap. Like, I don't even get it. So I'm retaining 50% on both. I'm going to offer them, I think, 2 of the St. Louis first round picks, which, I mean, I'm already trading them away early. The reason I'm doing this is because if St. Louis does play pretty well, then the first round pick value is going to drop significantly. In which case, like, I would have wished I traded it, right? So I think if they do play well, obviously the 2031's far enough out, it'll be the one that's affected the least. If I traded them 2 of these, would that be... Yeah, it's actually too much value. I could do maybe theirs this year and ours next year. That looks to be pretty close to right on. We are actually asking them to retain 50%, so let's see what they say here, I guess. But this trade, like, getting an 87 for $1 million and an 85 for 1.3, and Cash and Anderson respectively, just ridiculous. So we'll see what Vegas says here. Trade rejected, not going to retain the salary. So they're not going to retain the salary, which means pay us more and we'll retain the salary. At this point, too, we would have been getting what? Anderson, Kasha, and I'm trying to remember who else. We got the other first round pick. We already made a big trade, and like my mind's blanking. But there we go. The 2 firsts for Anderson and Kasha, 50%. So those 2 guys, along with Luke Hughes, of course, in exchange for Jamie Drysdale, and we still have a first round pick left over from St. Louis. I think we definitely made out okay there. Alright guys, we're here to look at the team heading into next season. I'm not sure if they're going to get 65 wins, but they'll be a top team for sure. You got Shane right in the first line with Doc and Kane. Doc's now at 90, Wright's at 95. I don't think there's like any way we could have top players on that first line, because yeah, that second line, Meyer, Lambert, Hall gets that +5. You then have Logan Brown, Tyson Joss, and Elias Anderson on this third line. Grigorenko, Hayes, and Cash on the fourth line. Basically, you just have too many good players at this point. Cash is 85, Grigorenko's 84 on the fourth line, but it's whatever. Defensively, Riley Boquist still the top pair. You got Clark and Hughes on the second. Conklin and Pitton there on the bottom, getting a +1, so it helps out the bottom a bit. Goaltending wise, Skinner, Merzlikins. Merzlikin's actually down to 82. That's the biggest question mark for this team is the goaltending, but we don't usually get insane goaltending anyway, so I think it'll be okay. AHL team, really no one too crazy for forwards. Defensively though, there's this KOVALEV guy, one of the most interesting players I think I've seen in franchise. 80 overall. He's playing with a +3 right now, so I'm hoping he grows even more this year in the AHL. Looking at his stats, it's so strange. So he's got insane skating with terrible balance, 90-60 awareness with 71 shot block and stick check. Really good deking, passing, puck control. Hand-eye's not great. A very powerful shot, but it's not accurate at all. And the wrist shot's not powerful. 89 body checking, but only 65 aggressiveness, as well as 66 strength. So one of the most strange players I've seen. We actually drafted him with the last pick in the 2024 draft. Again, we'll see kind of how he develops here. Goaltending AHL, Brzezinski there is the elite guy. 77 overall starter. WILCOX 60 backing him up, but only 20 years old, low elite. He could actually grow to be a decent goalie. 2 seasons left. It's not really going to matter for much more outside of trade value. But yeah, I don't know. This team, I think, again, we're a really good team. People were saying rebuild and stuff. We just put up 65 wins. Like, we're going for our 4th Stanley Cup. This team's still young. The core's still there. Basically, it all comes down to the luck of that playoff sim. I can't believe still. Like, when you look at the fact that we had 65 wins when our first round exit, to win 3 Stanley Cups in a row is honestly so insane and so lucky. So this team, yeah, 100 offense, 90 defense, 83 goaltending. We could trade maybe Kasha, Grigorenko for 2 better bottom pair defensemen. The thing is, defenseman salaries are usually pretty expensive, so it's going to be tough to pull off. But there's definitely some options for this team. We'll probably play it by ear, see how they start out, and then start tinkering with it next season. That's me, guys, though, for this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, leave that thumbs up. If you're not subscribed yet, make sure you do that. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.